We are getting ready for Mr. Lee's CBS interview.
That is better, yes. Okay.
Make sure there's no bright shininess on the forehead.
Where is it? 14534-260. How about that? I still remember that thing, don't I?
Where was that from?
Air Force.
Wow.
When I joined the Air
How many years
Force,
were you in it?
and when I was 18 years old, I was in there for a little over 4 years, right?
Wow.
I
good
would
for
have just returned from Germany after exactly 4 years when my enlistment was up, but I had a wife there, and in order to get the Air Force to pay her way back, I had to stay 6 more months. So.
Wow.
Yeah. So I went in the Air
Good for
Force. And my name, you asked for my name, rank, and serial number. I have no rank any longer, but my name is, I won't give you my first name. Nobody can remember it anyway. I am Lee, L-E-E, Flynn, F-L-Y-N-N.
But I'm really curious now. What is your first name?
Durward.
Durward.
D-U-R-W-A-R-D. Now, the doctor who delivered me out in my home in the country, he has a son named Durward, so I've always assumed that that was where my mom picked up that name. But I asked her about it later, and she said, I don't know where that name came from. So it came from the blue. And of course, Durward Kirby was a member of the Gary Moore show here umpteen years ago. You're too young to remember that, of course. But that's the only person I've ever known with that name, Durward Kirby and Durward Lee.
Wow.
But as soon as I got in the military, I dropped the Durward because nobody could spell it nor pronounce it. And then I became the middle name, Lee.
That you put on Radio Recliner.
A buddy of mine who plays guitar, and we used to come over here to Somerby about once every 2 months, and we would play out here in the lobby with all the people around us. And we would always end up with a gospel song. How Great Thou Art is one of my favorites, right? And that's one that we sometimes ended up with. And we had usually about a 12-song repertoire that we would go through, always different, but 12 songs. And I like country songs. Now, I grew up in LA, as I told you. Okay, now, growing up in LA, I am surrounded by country music and
Now,
gospel.
of course, by LA you mean Lower Alabama.
Absolutely. Lower Alabama. I'm surrounded by gospel music. And during the week, there's not much to do, Chip, except kind of work in the fields, help Daddy in the fields, and go fishing or go hunting or whatever. And then on Sunday, though, we would go to church and we would
When
sing.
coronavirus first hit, for anybody who's in a senior facility, things got very lonely because you had to stay in your own apartment all by yourself. So did this help do away with some of that loneliness?
As I say, if I'm on my computer, I spend a lot of time on my computer, on my television, in my books. Otherwise, I would be just sitting there. But now I can, when I'm on my computer answering emails or you name it, I can also listen to some songs. I could do that also by YouTube, but I would have to go back and forth with YouTube, and I could just turn this on and leave it. It's good.
Everybody on Radio Recliner has a DJ nickname. What is yours?
Don't forget I'm from LA, right?
Lower Alabama.
My nickname, my DJ name is Redneck.
DJ Redneck.
DJ is Redneck. Yes, you got it.
You proud of that name?
Absolutely, absolutely. I can spread that name to the world with pride.
And I say to both you and to Bua, Talofa.
Talafalava.
Thank you very much.
Aloha.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.